presentation.
Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat and welcome sa ika-127th episode ng the Filipino SDG Action Hour. At muli nyo kaming samahan sa isa't kalahating oras ng palitan ng mga kuro-kuro at mga impormasyon na napapanahon at tiyak na kapupulutan ng aral. So pag-usapan po natin ng ngayong hapon ang topic na pinamagatang Fast-Tracking the Digital Transformation of Philippines Enterprises and Communities. So ito po medyo exciting para sa akin kasi ang alam ko lang po talaga sa internet ay mag-social media, mag-email at manood po ng videos. Pero ngayon po, ayan po ay papalawakin po ng ating presenter for today. Siya po ay isang renowned figure recognized for his significant pioneering contribution in computer and information technology and is known as the father of the internet in the Philippines. He played a key role in shaping the Philippines' digital landscape. He authored the National Information Technology Plan and chair of the IT Coordinating Council, led its multi-sectoral implementation. He also conceptualized and led three major national initiatives: the Government Communication Network, the Software Development Institute, and the PhilNet project, which connected the country's research and education sectors to the global internet. He also initiated talks with the U.S. National Science Foundation to bring the internet to the Philippines. And as head of the National Computer Center, he directed the planning and execution of government-wide IT programs, establishing it as a leading hub for public sector IT. He also chaired the Cabinet Assistance Systems Ad Hoc Committee that developed the National IT Plan, and was later appointed chair of the IT Coordinating Council, overseeing national program across telecommunication, industry, government, education, training, and research and development under the NITP. So ngayon pong hapon, sabay-sabay po natin i-heart, palakpakan at i-welcome Academician William Torres. Sir Torres, welcome po sa Future Earth Philippines. Sir, nakamute po tayo ulit.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for that long illumination of my past.
Sir, just tell me, give me the go once ready na po tayo mag-present.
Well, I'd like you to show the first slide. I want to welcome the audience to explore with me a new frontier for our country. Okay. Let me begin by telling you that I am sharing a number of slides that come from my presentations, which I have done in the past 3-4 years, along the lines of what we're going to talk about. I am going to talk about a word or a phrase that is already being mentioned everywhere, and that is digital transformation. In short, DX. But for today's session, I'm going to focus on the digital transformation of Negros Island, now Negros Island region. But so that you can talk about it together at the end of my short presentation, I'd like to share with you some trending terms that are used in various ways. But what I'd like to suggest is that we focus it on the context of what we're talking about. So there are three parts to what I'm going to show you in terms of slides. And these are the what and the why of digital transformation and why we should do that for Negros. But the more important thing is really after we are aware of what it is already, the question and the challenge is how do we make it happen? And as an example, how will we make it happen in Negros, where I'm deeply involved in? Next slide. Mark? Next slide,
Yes,
please.
sir. Yes, sir. Ano lang po? It's not, yan po.
Okay. Yeah, in a graph which reflects a journey from where we were to where we want to go, that's what we call the digital transformation journey. But we began, before we even use the word, with the simple term digitization. In other words, we've done this already and we're masters of it, you might say. We convert real records like text or writing or even audio and video into digital format. And that's what we have done. The next step would be how do we organize that information so that we can better use them. And that is not yet at the second step, which is digitalization. And this word has been mentioned by our president only maybe 2 or 3 years ago. It is only recently that I've heard him use the word digital transformation. Digitalization is nothing more than automating processes. Okay? In other words, we use the data that we have gathered through digitization, and then you use certain technologies, which are also called digital technologies, in order to process this digitized data into the form that we want. And so, in the past, we've been doing this, but we've been doing this maybe individually or in clusters. But I think we find the need to streamline all of these things that we have automated, data as well as processes. And we are going through that process, even as many other people are moving ahead. And if you read the caption of the, if I may focus on the last stage, which is called transformation of the institution or digital transformation, let me read the sentence. A series of deep and coordinated culture, workforce, and technology. These are shifts that enable new educational and operating models and transform an institution, operations, strategic directions, and value proposition. So in other words, we are far away from being able to make full benefit from the internet, because all of these things are done on the internet with all its, parallel technologies. By the way, in the past, when we say ICT, we really mean only the infrastructure, which allows us to make use of information and communications together. But nowadays, ICT means information and communication, singular, technologies. And another way of saying that is digital technologies. This is different. This is not ICT of the past. And this is what we are trying to grapple with. Next slide. Now, I will not discuss this thoroughly, but a study just before COVID started was made of 8 advanced markets and 14 Asia Pacific markets, including ourselves. And the graph shows you the trend in terms of digital transformation. The best of us countries is Singapore, but we're only maybe 2/3 of the way towards where we want to go. And the advanced countries like UK, USA, and so on, they come in next. Who do you think is next to them? Third, I think it's the Philippines, but it is from the bottom. So out of 22 countries, we are at the bottom. In other words, the 19th country ahead of Vietnam and Indonesia, I think. And that tells us we have a long way to go. Okay, this was published in the 2020, but this is being updated every 6 months by IDC, and we can keep track, but we know that it has been growing at more than 17% per annum up to now. Next. So what I'm talking about was the context of what we're doing on a global scale. But now we look at Negros Island. Negros Island is the 4th largest island and the 4th largest in population in our country. Okay, ahead of Luzon, Mindanao, and in the case of area, Samar, in the case of population, Panay. But we are number 4. And we have a population of 4.5 million people, about 4% of the population. And that is what we're going to talk about next. We have formed a new corporation in December of 2022 in the midst of COVID, and we called it Digital Negros International. I'll explain why it's international later, but let's focus muna on what the goal is. The overarching goal is to make available to all types of enterprises, not people, enterprises in Negros, the best ICT resources, talking about the second ICT I was talking about, digital technologies, and services that will enable people to improve their lives, their communities, and environment, and also, most importantly, their means of livelihood. So perhaps I should like you to note that this company is going to focus on enterprises, which includes businesses, government or private, public services, programs, and projects. So it's not just businesses, and it's all enterprises. And a definition of enterprise must be considered, not just business. And DNI's target are those in Negros Island region. And as a note, the main purpose of our company is to help enable enterprises to produce better products and services to their respective clientele or customers. Next slide. And this is our strategy which we formulated way back in the uh, 20, 2020, 2021. We want to establish on a Negros Island region-wide digital infrastructure and city town-wide platforms on which cities and towns can connect to the global internet and also interconnect within and across all towns and cities in Negros. I think I want to highlight the term interconnect, which is now the better way to talk rather than just connect. Okay, to interconnect, which is a richer form of relationship methodology or pathway. There are three important points there. We want to partner with external entities whose ICT-oriented services are appropriate for Negros. So marami yan. Pipiliin yung anong maganda para sa Negros. Number two, to develop professionally skilled people together with ICT resources. In other words, we develop this together, not separately, and services in both Negros provinces. We should now say 3 provinces, including Siquijor. Now, those are long-term perspectives. The short-term perspective is we need to demonstrate what we're thinking of developing. So at the start, we need to showcase and demonstrate these innovative models in cities of Bacolod, Bayawan, Cadiz, and Dumaguete. And because I come from Bayawan, and my rich partner for this company is the owner of the biggest transportation company in the country, Mrs. Olivia Yanson, who also comes from Bayawan, we have decided that we will pilot even these 4 areas that we're talking about in Bayawan. Okay? Having piloted this in Bayawan, we hope that the cities and towns around Bayawan will be able to not only hear about it, not only being able to read reports about it, but maybe to see it at work. So showcase. In other words, we want to walk the talk in this program. Next slide. And how do we want to do this in terms of strategic services of DNI? We want, and this is the one that really makes it international. Attract investments and professional expertise and skills for the enterprise in Negros, wherever it may come from. Okay. Number 2, provide ICT-related and ecosystems-oriented strategic services to enterprises for Negros and beyond. And the third is the one that we are going to show first, startup enabler and startup enterprises in cities and towns of Negros and hopefully beyond Negros. And by the way, I am already beyond Negros, but I'm helping Marinduque do something like this also. Next. So this is the big things that face us. And this is what I think would be important to talk about after a few more slides. How do we make this happen? Next slide. To be able to appreciate what we're going to be talking about, I'd like us to think about a few terms that are recently being used. Enterprise ecosystems, number 1. Number 2, digital enterprise ecosystems, EE, towards becoming an EE, DEE. So I showed four examples there, which is really our priorities also. Educational ecosystem for a city. In other words, that ecosystem consists of all the components that will enable a city improve the educational services within the city. And similarly, we talk about health for a city, the food supply supply chain for a city, and ecosystem for MSMEs, micro, small, and medium-scale enterprises for a city. So this is the main thing that we would like to persuade our enterprises in all the towns and cities to consider an ecosystems approach or enterprise ecosystems approach. Now, behind this would be the two things that are important that our company will take in charge of. The creation of digital platform ecosystem in a city, and also a digital infrastructure for Negros Island. Now, when we say infrastructure, we're typically comparing this to the transportations which are physical, no? Like water, energy, and other things, transportation even, and the soft infrastructure. But here we are really talking about something that is virtual. And this we will not emphasize too much. So we can just imagine after I've explained a bit on what the first one is. Next slide. So what is an enterprise ecosystem? And please take note about this, because this is really the key idea of what we're trying to do. And there are many others who are doing this around the globe. An enterprise ecosystem is an interdependent group of enterprises, people, and or things that work together towards a shared goal. So it's not just one company that we're looking at. It's a set of companies, a set of enterprises. And the question to ask is, what kind of interdependence are we talking about? We need to discuss that further, because different ecosystems perhaps have different types of interdependencies. Now, does this mean that companies must work together and not compete with each other? No. It means we are going into both competition and collaboration or cooperation. So there's a word that we're using there, co-opetition. Okay. So the question is, how does a regular enterprise ecosystem become digital? Next slide. It's the same phrase that I'm using, except for the middle part. Interdependent group of enterprises, people, and things that share a selected set of one or more digital platforms. Right away, you ask the question, don't we have this already? Yes, we do. Like Facebook, like Google, like other social media platforms. But hindi sapat yun. Hindi obra yun sa gusto natin gawin. And these enterprises, ecosystems, will work together towards shared goals. Okay, next. So we want enterprise ecosystem to become digital enterprise ecosystems. This is my slide, and we will start with this. Digital platforms enable digital enterprise ecosystems. And so there are two bullets that I'm asking you to think about. Imagine how a digital platform ecosystem for a city would look like. Imagine how a digital infrastructure for the entire Negros Island region would look like. We can only describe this as we go along because unlike regular infrastructure, you build the infrastructure first and then people will come and use them. Ito, sinasabayan ang pag-develop ng digital platform and digital infrastructure habang dinidevelop yung mga ecosystems and their applications. So this is really a preface to what I'm going to, because national scientist Lourdes Cruz has invited me to talk about what I am doing in Negros. Okay, and I think the reason I had to provide you with this preface is so that you will appreciate what I am doing in Negros, and if you find it valuable, maybe you will come in and participate in it, or you can do it in your own areas. So let me perhaps close the slide and maybe we can show the gallery so that I can just talk about my experience in this pwede ipakita yung lahat.
Sir, alin po ipapakita po natin, sir?
Wala na. The gallery, all the participants. Show the participants. Kasi we want a conversation about this because that's what I thought national scientist Bruce wanted me to share.
We have shown dito yung mga panelists, pero yung most of the participants, yung mga 33 participants, hindi sila nag-a-appear, hindi ba?
Hindi, pero
hindi
may
po,
gallery. If you press
Kasi-
gallery, makikita mo.
Ito po
Ayaw.
kasi, sir,
No, magbukas
Ayaw ko yung
tayo
ako lang
lahat.
makikita ko. Ha? Pakita mo lahat.
Gusto
Gallery yun,
buksan natin ang lahat ng ating muka.
Yun. Kasi ayaw kong magsalita sa sarili ko, di ba? Sige, umpisahan ko na habang ginagawa yon. Alam mo, nung 2010, about 15 years ago, I was invited in Dumaguete to give a talk. And the idea was, how do we reach the barangays with the internet? And so, whatever technology was there at that time, we talked about it. And some people listened and they did it. But then technologies evolved and more better and maybe less expensive technologies became available. And so there was an evolution from a simple connection of a gadget or a device via wireless or cable or fiber to a central.
Ano wala?
Yan po. Academician Bill Torres po, nawala po tayo. Sir, naka-mute po tayo, sir. Nawala po uli. Mukhang kailangan nga po talaga ata ng digital transformation sa Negros.
Oo.
Kailangan pong palawigin at padamihin po ang Fiber optics sa Negros. Nasa Negros po ba ngayon si Academician Torres? Sir, yan po, wala po tayong sound. Nag-freeze po si Sir.
Oh, ano na, oh. Hello?
Yes, sir. Yan po. Okay na po.
Okay. So, nag-evolve yung paggamit ng internet, di ba? At over
Nawala po ulit si Sir. Hello po, Sir Academician Torres.
Kailangan yata si Elon Musk si Starlink.
Ako, tamang-tama po ang topic ni Academician Torres sa digital transformation kasi mukha po talagang kailangan talaga na improve ang ating infrastructures when it comes to the internet service.
baka namamatay yung pag nagsabing recording, pinapatay yung aking ano.
Sige po, yan po, Sir. You're back online.
Okay. Ang word na ecosystem nag-umpisa 1931 pa. And it started with natural science. Nung mga araw na yon, pag nag-aral ka sa isang lake or isang pond, pinag-aaralan mo isa-isa yung isda, yung mga materials doon, yung impact ng mga ibang dumadaan sa pond na yon. Pero there is an interdependence among the living things and the non-living things in a given area, like a lake or a pond, or if you want to make it bigger, an ocean. And so someone in the late 1990s, merong message dito, changing the language to Tagalog. Hindi pwede. Hindi pwede yung Taglish? Pwede, di ba? Or you want me to speak in English? Ikaw naman ang naka-mute.
Sir, pwede naman po yung Taglish. Ako nga po, Taglish po ako mag-discuss eh.
Oo nga eh. Oo nga. Okay. Kasi there are other participants, I think, who are probably, ako, I'm in the Visayas, no? So, ang term na ecosystem, inadapt ng isang professor, pangalan niya Moore, yata from Harvard, lumabas ngayon yung business ecosystem. Wala pang COVID noon, no? Late before the turn of the millennium. So, I think the fact that more and more technologies became available to more and more companies, big and small, created the need or the discovery that they can also interconnect with each other. And so the term business ecosystem came about. And then much later, lumabas itong mga nakikita na natin, no? Like Facebook, like e-commerce, di ba? Yung mga ganon. Grab, dumadami yan, di ba? And so, using the technology and innovating on the way we combine them together, lumabas itong word na enterprise ecosystem. So kahit hindi business, kahit na hindi lake, hindi natural, pwede mong gamitin yung term ecosystem. Basta ang importante, pinagsama mo yung enterprises na yon, yung mga tao doon, mga customer nila, at mga gadgets or things, hardware and software na ginagamit. So yun ang ibig sabihin ng ecosystem. So to make a long story short, ang gusto nating mangyari, sa isang barangay, magkakaroon ng ganong klaseng sistema ng paggamit ng internet. Bakit? Kasi mapupuntahan sila ng mga suppliers kasi dadami sila. Kaya lang, kung hindi sila makakabayad ng mas mura, hindi sila makaka-connect, di ba? So kailangan maghanap ng magandang connection na mas maraming magagawa sa connection na yon para ang mga suppliers pupunta sa kanila, sa mga barangays. So, yung term na ecosystem, magagamit na natin hindi lang sa business, hindi lang sa other types of enterprises, but even communities, di ba? So communities. So yun yung idea namin sa Negros, na sa isang city, ma-reach niya lahat ng barangays. Di ba? Kaya lang, hindi niya magawa yon kung hindi kayang gagastusan ng mga taga-barangay o ng even ng gobyerno na ang ginagastos kwarta din, pera din naman ng mga taga-barangay, di ba? So yun ang idea, to lower the cost, to improve the usability, di ba? The applicability of the technology and the other processes that are to be used in making a living, in getting an education, in getting government services, whatever. You want it better and better. So if I may give you a specific example of what we will do in Bayawan, there is already a fiber subterranean or undersea cable fiber that lands in the city. And on the whole Negros Island, there are at least 5 such landing points on that island. Fiber that travels around the world, around the globe, tens of thousands of kilometers. Okay? So pag nakakonect ka doon sa landing point na yon, connected ka na internationally, di ba? Ang problema, paano mo i-connect yung mga barangay doon sa landing point na yon? Yun, may mga solusyon na wireless. So, nakikita mo yung mga towers, tapos may wireless makakarating sa malayo, pero hindi makakarating sa lahat kasi mahal ang tower, mahal ang service, at kukunti lang yung gagamit. Kaya mahal. So kailangan paramihin yon at mapaparami mo yon kung ang paggagamit ng mga tao sa mga barangay ay marami ding paraan. No? Lalo na panghanap buhay at saka yung iba pang nilang gagawin. No? Hindi lang entertainment, hindi lang chismis. Di ba? Kasi walang pera doon eh. Di ba? So, sa Bayawan, we have a landing point and we have already connected along the main highway that cuts across Bayawan to the other cities. There are many already that are connected, government as well as private enterprises. Sa mga barangays, yun lang maabot ng wireless ang makakasama. Pero yung mga remote, hindi makakasama. So ang Bayawan, mayroong 28 barangays. Palagay ko, ang naaabot pa lang na barangay ay wala pang 15. Di ba? Halos kalahati lang. So yung kalahati, nasa malayo, hindi pa maabot. So there was, we thought that dapat may solution yan. At ang solution ay nandyan na. Andyan na. Noon wala pa yon, pero ngayon nandyan na. Kasi mayroon ng wireless, mayroon ding fiber na pwede nang ilagay kahit na from one point to another within a barangay. Diba? So pag pinagsama mo yung kombinasyon na yon, hindi lang mararating mo yung mga barangay at mga enterprises sa barangay, malaki pa yung makukuha nilang bandwidth, number one, so they can use it for business, and it will be more secure, it will be more reliable, it will be resilient, yung mga ganong properties. Kasi pag kinailangan mo sa business, di ba, maraming gumagamit, hindi maaaring papatay-patay ka palagi, di ba? So yun, there is a way of solving it, and the way that I have called it which is not very well understood pa in our country, but beginning to be understood even in other countries already, is what I call the Digital Enterprise Ecosystems Approach. DEEA. Okay? Ano ba yung Digital Enterprise Ecosystems Approach? Kung isipin ko sa yung goal na long term para sa lahat, ito yung pag-iisip ko. Dapat makagawa tayo ng mga digital enterprise ecosystems sa bawat towns kasama ang mga barangay. Para sa health, para sa education, para sa food, para sa kung ano-anong pwede pang gawin na worth spending money connecting to the internet, no? Isa yun sa goal. At sa tingin ko, obvious naman yung pag maraming gumagamit at mas maraming pagkikitaan yung paggamit, mas ma-afford ng mga tao. Mas kakayanin nila magbayad. Moreover, kung marami sila nagsishare dun sa isa o dalawang link papunta sa kanilang barangay at saka spread out dun sa barangay, pag nagawa mo yon, magiging mas mura sa bawat isa. Di ba? So, mayroon ng mga ginagawang ganon, kaya lang hindi siya cohesive doon sa mga iba pang iniisip natin. So, isang kwan yun, paramihin yung mga digital enterprise. Ang pangalawa is, malaking challenge yung paglagay ng tinatawag kong city digital platform or digital city platform. Kasi yun yung hindi gagawin ng telco yun at hindi magagawa ng gobyerno yun. And they have tried doing that and they're still trying. But it looks like we cannot do these things in the usual way. We have to invent, we have to innovate in a better way. Ito na yung sinasabi ko na tingnan mo yung supply, tingnan mo yung demand, tapos i-develop mo pareho para yung supply pupunta doon sa may demand at yung may demand kaya niyang bayaran yung mga supplier. Diba? At ito, hindi ito paminsan-minsan. All the time. Diba? Real time, all the time. Ganon. So, pag naisip mo yon, isipin natin, education. Paano ba mag-i-improve ang education kung mayroong data ecosystem bawat barangay sa buong bayan na they are interconnected together? Well, isa of course is yung teacher, mag-reach na yung mga estudyante niya kahit sa anong barangay siya nanggaling, di ba? Kahit na hindi sila makita palagi, di ba? At yung mga teachers at saka estudyante sa isang barangay, pwedeng magsama-sama para pupunta sa isang lugar, sa barangay center, para makinig sa isang magtuturo sa kanila na hindi maituro ng kanya-kanyang teacher, no? Ang mga subjects like STEM, di ba? Mahirap ituro yung mga yon. So, maraming magagawa. Another example sa health. Mahirap mag-treat ng mga may sakit na nasa barangay. Kasi kailangan pumunta sila sa bayan para mapunta clinic sa bayan at hospital at kung minsan doktor. Kung minsan walang doktor kahit nasa bayan. Diba? So anong paraan para malalaman ng doktor na nasa bayan yung may sakit na nasa barangay? Pwede niyang malaman at kung kakailangan, dadalhin yung pasyente sa bayan. Pero kung pwede namang matreat yung sakit, di ba? Yun ang tinatawag consulting, no? Sa medicine. Maraming examples na maraming hundreds of examples that can be done. And this is where if you influence the users, the enterprises in particular, that they can do these things without having to pay for resources, then I think they will. Diba? And this is the mission of DNI to make that happen. Now, why do I need a Negros Island region infrastructure? or maybe a higher platform. Well, para ma-connect ko yung lahat doon sa mga resources na wala sa bayan o sa city at wala rin sa Pilipinas. Di ba? Wala sa Pilipinas. So, may paraan na ma-combine mo yung mga resources na yon, makapunta sa city na yon na mas mura at mas reliable at mapagkikitaan. Mga ganon. Di ba? So, sa buong Pilipinas, kung gagawin natin yon island by island or province by province or region by region, sa tingin ko ang tungo noon ay digital transformation of the country. Di ba? So, gusto ko rin idagdag na hindi madaling gawin. Di ba? Madaling isipin, mahirap gawin. Bakit? Mayroong tinatawag na digital divide. Di ba? Ang digital divide, ang sinasabi, hindi makakonect sa internet. Isang klaseng digital divide yan. Mayroong isang klaseng digital divide na skills digital divide. Mayroong skills sa bayan o wala nga sa bayan, lalo na sa barangay, wala rin. Diba? So, paano nila malaman kung paano gamitin yung mga pangangailangan nila? And then there are other things that have to be developed. But in sum, what I'm really saying is we not only need to develop the supply part of the technology, but also the demand part. Because sila talaga yung makikinabang doon sa supply. By combining those two and all its nuances, what I'm saying is it will increase the possibility of improving their lives, education-wise, health-wise, and making a living wise. Yung ganon. Diba? So, madaling maipakita sa umpisa kung ilimit mo lang sa isang barangay. Kaya lang, ang resources na kakailanganin mo para magawa yon sa isang barangay ay unaffordable sa barangay. So kailangan gawin mo yon, kumbinsihin mo yung LGU na gawin natin ito sa LGU kahit na maglalagay tayo ng digital platform, halimbawa para sa education lang, alam natin na yung digital platform na yon ay magagamit for health, for agriculture, and for other sectors, no? So, but magastos yan, sasabihin nila. Hindi eh. Unlike building roads, unlike building transportation system, ang capital na kailangan is not much at the beginning. It only grows as the demand grows. Yun ang tinatawag na operational capital rather than asset-based capital na i-invest mo sa umpisa. So, yun ang example ko, pero pag inisip mo citywide or townwide, at lalo na pag inisip mo province-wide and then region-wide, sa tingin ko, mapapabilis yung sinasabi ko sa title, fast-tracking the digital transformation of enterprises and communities in our country. We will show it in Bayawan to start with, but almost a little after that, mag-upisa na yung Bacolod, Dumaguete, Cadiz, and maybe Siquijor. Because the company is there not only for 1 year or 2 years, but like any a company of this nature, they will be there in the long term. So with that as preface, I hope there is a discussion that will ensue.
Okay. So, Academician Torres, maraming salamat po sa pagbigay po sa amin na enlightenment tungkol po sa importance po ng digital transformation, lalo-lalo na po sa pag-improve po ng livelihood ng bawat community. Now we're going to open the floor sa ating pong mga panelists and attendees for questions and clarifications. It's our time para po malaman po natin yung mga kasagutan sa ating mga questions Kasi para po sa akin, ito pong mundo po ng information technology, computer, ito po ay isang alien language sa akin. So ito, ang alam ko lang po talaga sa internet ay mag-Facebook, social media, internet, and research. Now, let's ask our questions. Academician Torres, ito, curious lang po ako ha.
Sige.
Kasi nakita ko po rito, kayo po ang father of the internet in the Philippines. So sir, at the very young age, back in those days, na wala pang internet, wala pang computer, sir, bakit po nagkaroon kayo ng eagerness and talagang desire na i-pursue itong unknown field back in the days?
Mahabang usapan yan, pero mag-umpisa tayo sa ah, pag-graduate ko sa college, mechanical engineering ang ating buong degree, no? 1955 yan. Wala pang PC yan. Wala pang internet yan, di ba? So nagturo rin ako, turo akong science, nagturo akong math, hindi mechanical engineering kasi nandun yung, doon ako nilagay. Sa Mapua where I graduated and also in Ateneo later. Di ba? Ngayon, nagkaroon ako ng pagkakataon na makapuntang US. Nakuha akong scholarship, di ba? So, nag-aral ako ng computer science na kahit zero, less than zero ang alam ko about computer science at that time. Kaya lang naisip ko, bakit ba, ano ba yan? So, nagpunta ako. Maniwala kayo, wala akong alam. Kaya lang, alam ko yung science, alam ko yung math, di ba? So yung mga interview sa akin, nalalaman nila yon na may connection dalawang yon. To make a long story short, nakapag-aral ako, nakakuha ako ng doctorate sa computer science 1970. Ako ang unang Pilipino, by the way, na nakakuha nun. Di ba? Tapos, panahon ni Cory, nagiging head ako ng National Computer Center. Ngayon, may mga Pilipino sa US na gusto makipag-usap sa mga Pilipino sa Philippines kung paano sila makakatulong sa atin sa Pilipinas. So a group of us were asked to go to the US to present our requirements, our needs to these Filipino groups. Di ba? So kinuwento namin yung, ako may dala akong proposal about internet na, no? Pero iba yung inisip ko kasi wala pang internet. Di ba? So, habang nagsasalita ako sa Washington, isang forum sa Washington, may isang European na nandun sa audience. Pagkatapos ko magsalita, ang sabi niya, would you like to meet my friend who is the executive director of the National Science Foundation of the US? Palagay mo ano sagot ko? Siyempre, oo, di ba? So the following day we went, and that is when I learned that the internet was going to be commercialized, was going to be spread around, not limited only to universities and government research institutions. So pagbalik ko sa Pilipinas, kiwento ko yun, kinukumbinsi yung mga tao, uy, kailangan natin yung internet. Well, may mga nagsasabi, nakakonect na kami sa Hong Kong, nakakonect na kami sa Australia. Dial-up connection.
Tama, sir, dial-up.
Okay. So, kinampanya bale, convince ko maraming tao, matagal, 2 taon na ako ang nagka-campaign dyan. Convince ko na kailangan magkaroon tayo ng internet. March 29, March 29, 1994? No. Yeah, 1994, nagkaroon ng internet sa Pilipinas. 64 kilobits, $10,000 a month. Okay? So, can the Philippines afford that? No. Di ba? So, the idea of spreading, and that is the key idea of what we're trying to say. You have to spread the use of expensive technology so that it becomes affordable. Yun ang ginawa. So, yun ang sagot sa tanong kung paano ko na
Pero sir, ano yan? Meron po ba tayong mga hesitations from other? Kasi, sir, kasi dati kasi naririnig ko, bata pa ako, "Oh, ba't mo kailangan ng internet? Meron naman telepono, hindi naman kailangan ng computer, sir." Ayun
Ano
yung
na?
mga naririnig ko ng bata ako eh. Pwede naman
Yeah,
mag-usap sa
well,
telepono, ba't kailangan pa ng internet?
ako narinig ko yon sa isang scientific meeting. Ang sabi nung nag-explain ako, importante pa ba yan sa pagkain? Importante pa ba yan sa pambayad sa eskwelahan? Mga ganon? Well, expected naman yun, di ba? Hanggang hindi mo talaga naaral o later nakita na, uy, kikinabang ang iba doon, di ba, hindi mo gagawin. Pero yun na nga, siguro that's the purpose of learning things, di ba?
Tama,
That's
sir.
the purpose of meeting challenges. Hindi wag ka na lang maghintay. Kamukha ng ginagawa natin ngayon. Available sa atin ang texting. We became texting capital of the world. Sino kaya ang kumita doon?
Sir, dalawang kumpanya ang kilala kong kumita doon. Okay. So, sir, tama yung
unti-unti
sinabi niyo.
nagbago.
Yes, sir. Buti nga nagbago, sir. Wala yung hesitation ng mga higher na nasa rangko at in-entertain po ang introduction ng internet sa ating bansa. Meron pong question si Sir po.
Mark,
Sige po.
pwede ko lang idagdag, no? Para ma-update. Alam mo, itong national meeting namin or national conference namin sa NAS,
Opo.
we began to talk about what we're talking about. Di ba? That
Mhm.
even the scientists and the people that work with them must be interconnected, di ba? Into some sort of ecosystem, digital ecosystem, para, di ba, magawa ng mas mabilis at mas malawak yung ating marating, di ba?
Tama po, sir.
Yun. So mangyayari yan. At in fact, sa usapan namin sa small group namin sa NAS, sabi namin sa 50th anniversary ng NAS, huwag nang nating pag-usapan. Kailangan maipakita na natin. Di ba? So
Opo, sir.
yun yung mga usapan na I'm so happy about, because in our own way, we wanted to do something for ourselves, but perhaps others will also find out that they can do it elsewhere together.
Okay po. Mapunta po tayo sa pagtaas ng kamay ni Sir Cesar. Yes, Sir Cesar. Ano po ating question?
Academician Bill, thank you very much for an interesting and challenging presentation. I have 2 to 3 issues pero related sa sa cost benefit. Okay.
Right.
Magkano ang cost sa Bayawan so far? That's one, Number 2, sabi mo pwede maski wherever in the Philippines, ang thinking ko lang baka pwedeng build up mo na
Okay.
available in terms of budgets and available. And then as the LGU gets more money, expand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tama
And
yun.
thirdly, I think that's why ang importante yung cost benefit, because dapat ito social cost benefit instead of commercial cost benefit eh.
Right.
Because you mentioned educational ecosystem, health ecosystem and all that. And you mentioned about the poor barangays.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, my
Sige.
answer to the first part of your question is the typical business really needs capital, di ba? To be able to assemble the resources that they need, including people, di ba? Hindi ganon para sa business na iniisip namin. In fact, ang model nito, di ba, ang typical business is a pyramid. Mayroong may-ari nasa taas, siya yung may capital, tapos may mga employees sa baba, di ba, silang gumagawa and so on. Itong amin is inverted pyramid. Kami yung nasa baba, i-empower namin at i-enable namin yung nasa taas. Mga enterprises, mga eskwelahan, mga ganon. Ang capital, hindi asset, kundi operating capital. Di ba?
Yeah.
So, hindi siya mahal kasi hindi sa una yung investment. Ang investment, habang ginagawa mo yung, pinapalaki mo yung business mo. Kaya yung sinabi ko doon sa first part of my presentation, ang dalawang business strategy na naisip namin is i-attract namin ang investment para sa mga enterprises, hindi para sa DNI. Kasi kung i-post namin sa DNI yon, agad-agad hindi namin kaya, di ba? So, sabi namin, i-enable natin yung mga enterprises sa mga bayan, sa mga cities, no? Na makikita nila yung value ng internet interconnectivity. Kasi makaka-improve ng business nila in terms of product quality, product sales, di ba? At maybe diversification can come in. We can go into not just selling raw, but processed materials. Yung ganon.
Yeah.
Diba? So, ang unang ginawa namin talaga is raising awareness that there is a way of looking at development in a different way. Di ba? Na ang capital hindi sa umpisa. Ang capital habang lumalaki kayo. Di ba? So, parang if you put that in a micro, halimbawa isang pamilya no, na may anak na OFW, di ba? Anong tulong na binibigay niya sa pamilya niya? Di ba? Para pagkain, panigarilyo, pag-inom, ganun siguro yon. Pero pag sinabi mo, oh, meron kaming project dito sa community namin, pwede ba yung binibigay mo sa amin, doon natin ilagay para may ano? At kung marami kayong ganun, di ba? Makabuo kayo ng tinatawag kong operating capital. Kasi ang operating capital, monthly mo babayaran, di ba? Yung internet connectivity, monthly. Tapos pag magkasama kayo, may bibilin kayong isang asset na medyo mahal, you buy it together para mapamura, at maybe DNI can negotiate with the suppliers for the wholesale cost rather than the retail cost. Yung mga ganong approach. So, hindi siya madali. Kaya lang, mahirap ipakita. Di ba? Na tama yung approach na yon. Kailangan, you must convince more and more people to become savvy in that kind. Kasi yung internet, kung isipin mo, sino ba may cellphone nung araw? Wala naman eh. Pero ngayon, mas maraming cellphone pa kaysa tao dito sa ating bayan. Kaya lang, cost sa kanila yun. Diba? Wala silang, some of them are making money out of it. Diba? But we want more of such people. And we want better education, better health, better food, yung mga ganun. How can we bring that about with the participation not only of big businesses, but even the small businesses as well?
Let me just follow that up. Ano? Am I going too far na, Mark? Or
Okay lang po, sir. Go
Okay.
ahead.
I'm convinced, your framework is exciting, and I'm convinced, but I'm looking for, let's say, a timetable,
Okay.
operations, and also cash flow. Yun lang then I will have a better grasp.
Okay.
Because what you're telling me is the whole country needs internet access, whether it's fiber or wireless. Yung may pera, they can easily afford to buy,
Yeah.
Ang problem, the way I see it is that yung walang pera at manangailangan ng education, health, yan ang mas
Mahirapan sila, di ba?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm trying, if there is operational timeline,
Okay.
operation, equipment,
Okay.
and cash flows.
Okay. Sa aming strategy, ang malaking element talaga is dapat may ipakita kami sa umpisa. Di ba?
Okay, what's that?
Okay. Sa Bayawan, there are 28 barangays. Only half are connected to the internet, no?
Yeah,
Of course, the people have cell phones. They can say they are connected to the internet. But they are not using it for the purposes that I mentioned, no? So ano ang gagawin namin? Nakapili kami ng isang barangay na pwedeng i-connect kaagad sa fiber, with fiber. Kasi malapit lang sa daan,
Sa landing.
sa landing point, no? At saka ang landing point nag-extend na sa highway, di ba? So kung malapit ka sa highway, madaling In fact, a good example is mayroon akong kapatid na nag-retire from abroad. Siya mismo nagpatayo ng poste at saka ng fiber. Siya bumili noon papunta sa kanyang bahay. Di ba? Ibig sabihin, pwede. Kaya lang, mahal, di ba? Isa lang siya mahal. Siya lang ang makaka-afford siguro doon sa barangay niyo. Ang sinasabi ko, you are doing it for the entire barangay. Di ba? At that's already a proven fact na when you share a link together and then distribute that link to many users, you will lower the per unit cost.
Yeah.
Okay? So yun. That's the principle. And timeline. We're talking about months to connect that one barangay. In fact, we're going to have one barangay along the coastline of Bayawan and another barangay which is remote. Di ba? Doon sa remote, ito yung, baka hindi nyo naisip to, sa remote, pwedeng i-connect sa tower, na pinakamalapit na tower by wireless to that barangay. Magtatayo ka lang ng low tower, no? So makonect mo yun. Tapos, within the barangay, kung hindi kaya ng Wi-Fi, kasama limited yung reach ng Wi-Fi, pwede kang maglagay ng fiber, sarili mo. Di ba? Ikabit mo sa mga puno ng nyog, ganon. Di ba? Nagagawa na yun ngayon. So, it's a creative way of combining technologies that seem expensive, but in fact, when combined together, will lower the cost per unit of user. So yun yung strategy. And I'm fortunate no na yung aking partner, owner ng Ceres Transportation Company sa Visayas, Mindanao, kung alam mo yun, Mrs. Johnson. So,
I know, Ceres.
transportation company.
Yeah.
Diba? Ang mayari noon, Johnson. Kababayan ko yung matriarch. Okay, so Bayawan, that's why Bayawan is our pilot project, because people there will believe her more than me, because I only transferred to Negros less than a year ago because of this project. So let me also, isa pang hindi minsan nakikita is hindi kailangang iwanan mo yung trabaho mo ngayon para makasama ka dito sa trabahong gagawin. Part-time lang, malay, no? So in terms of pangangailangan, I don't have to budget for, annual budget for many employees, no? I'm just going to budget honorarium or consulting allowances, mga ganun.
Yeah.
Okay po.
One
So-
last point. Mark, tatahimik na ako. One last
Sige
point.
po.
Yun nga, baka why limit yourself to Negros if there are people excited? Because I like the project. I understand it, Baka if there are people excited throughout the Philippines, baka they can link up with you and, you
Yeah.
mentioned about tower linkages or, poste lamang eh.
Yeah. Well,
Why
yeah.
not limit yourself to Negros? That's it. Mark, tahimik na ako.
Well, this is partly part of my involvement in maybe a national campaign to influence more people to think about it, di ba? And maybe, actually sa Marinduque, maybe more than a year ago, may tinutulungan na ako doon, di ba? At alam mo, Cebu, Bohol, and Panay, di ba? They are next to Negros. So we're already thinking yung ating gagawin, buong Visayas yan. Di ba? So, kaya lang, yun nga, yung element na gusto ng mga tao makita. Kasi wala pang nakikitang ganun eh. So, dapat maipakita namin, una sa isang bayan, pangalawa sa 5 bayan, but later yung ibang bayan, makukonect ng sa amin. Di ba? Kasi there's such a thing as di ba? Sa city or multi-towns. Metro towns pala. Ganun. Magagawa ito. Kaya lang, yun nga, siguro ang isa pang mahirap isipin is, paano mako-convince yung mga tao na sasama sila dito. Ito yung sigurong mabanggit ko sa iyo na kung hindi kami nagpuntang Bayawan, hindi namin malalaman. You know, Bayawan, because of the last elections, noted that most of the people who look for work, skilled work, they get out of Bayawan. Diba? They go to Dumaguete, they go to Bacolod, they go to Cebu, Manila even. Diba? Why can't we generate livelihood and job in Bayawan mismo? So, palagay kumagat yung suggestion na maybe while we are training people, whether they're in college or even in senior high school, we can already ask them to help in their barangays, no, when we do these things. Diba? And so, parang kino-combine mo yung resources na hindi kailangan mag-hire ng full-time employees. Ito pang nakagulat. Siguro magugulat ka dito eh. Bayawan City has more than 120,000 population. Okay? Ang sabi nila, ito talagang hindi ako maniwala eh. 92% of those who are employed in Bayawan are employed by LGU. Can you imagine that? Hindi ako naniwala kasi nung tinanong ko, what about this company Ceres? Hindi kasali yan kasi ang opisina nila wala sa Bayawan. Di ba? So, there are employees outside of Bayawan that they do not count. But in fact, it is because of the internet that they are able to work outside of Bayawan. So, they are now committed. Ito na yung kumbinsido na sila talaga na dapat i-connect lahat ng barangay and doable, no? I think in 1 year's time, we can do that. Kasi nag-iisip na sila, kung hindi natin makonect lahat ng barangay at the same time, ganito, cluster natin sila. Sila nag-isip nito, hindi ako. I-cluster natin sila, 3, 4, 5 barangay together. I-connect natin ang isa sa kanila by wireless. Diba? And then, mula sa isang yon, mag-spread out sila by Wi-Fi or by fiber, which is already doable. Diba? So, sila mismo na. Ito na yung sinasabi ko na you need to cultivate the demand side, hindi lang the supply side.
Thank you po, sir. Sana po matupad po ang ating project na may connect po ang buong Bayawan o totality of Negros.
Negros
Yes,
in
sir,
3 years.
sa connection
Negros
po ng
Island in
internet.
3 years.
Opo. Apunta lang po tayo dito sa question po ni Mr. Vincent Janse. So sabi niya po dito, beautiful topic. And to Academician Torres, for the benchmarking of Negros Island interconnected interoperable internet, should the Negros province start from building its own data center that will power up the project?
My answer right away is no need. Alam mo yung sinasabi kong 2 level ng platform, no? Isa sa city level at isa sa island level or island region level. Lahat ng resource na kailangan ko nasa cloud. Di ba? Hindi ko kailangan ng data center sa Bayawan. Hindi ko kailangan ng data. Siguro may ilan-ilan na kakailanganin ng data center. Pero isipin mo ito ha, pag nag-connect ako sa isang data center sa Singapore from Bayawan, mas mura pa kaysa mag-connect ako sa Cebu o sa Manila. Di ba? Kasi
Sir, saan po ang pinakamalaking storage ng data center sa mundo? Sir, alam po somewhere in US, pero sir, saan
nung
doon?
araw, US, no?
Yes, sir.
At alam mo ang kailangan ng data center at ngayon idagdag mo yung AI ay energy. Kasi maraming data ang kailangan i-store. So data center, di ba?
Yes,
Data
sir.
center are physical things that require 24-hour operation, di ba? Pero ang bagong approach, network of data centers. Mayroon isang kumpanya, global company, na nasa more than 400 data centers all over the world. Because they are connected by this fiber around the world, people can source their data center needs from anywhere in the world.
Okay po. So sir, hindi na po tulad dati na isang parang
Hindi
server
hindi
lang sa US ang kukuhanan natin ng information.
Yeah. May mga, Singapore is just one example I gave. Hong Kong mayroon, Tokyo mayroon, South Korea mayroon, di ba? 400 of those. Ang pangalan ng kumpanya na yon, Equinix.
Equinix.
Tingnan nyo, malalaman nyo yun.
Opo.
Sinasabi ng kumpanya na yon, hindi na internet ang inyong infrastructure. Digital ecosystem na.
Opo.
Kasi yung
Okay.
digital ecosystem na talaga, nakakonect yun sa mga resources na hindi mo na kailangang mabuhay. At saka pag inisip mo yung security natin,
Tama sir.
at saka yung regularity of our power, patatak ko na lahat power, di ba?
Yes, sir. Sir, punta po tayo dito sa question po ni Academician Arnel Del Barrio. So, magandang
Okay.
hapon po, Academician Torres. Sad to know that the Philippines is ranked number 3 from the bottom in terms of the internet. Ano po ang kailangan para ma-address ang gap?
Well, one of the factors there is not just connectivity, di ba? It's the value that is generated by this connectivity and interconnectivity, di ba? Halimbawa lang, alam mo ba na ang ating BPO, ang laki ng itinaas ng dollar income nila from before COVID to after COVID. Di ba? So, ang question, bakit sa metro centers lang may BPO? Bakit hindi pa ilalim yung function ng mga BPO sa mga barangay? Kung may magandang connection sila, pwede. At yun ang gagawin ng Taiwan. Kasi mayroon ng mga nagtatrabaho as
Work from home, sir.
di ba?
Yes,
So-
sir. Madami
so-
po kilala rito, sir, mga kamag-anak.
Oo.
Talagang kilala, sir, na talagang nag-work from home instead na pumunta ng office sa Alabang, sa Manila. Dati din po mismo sa mismong bahay sa Calamba, nagtatrabaho paggabi.
Yeah, so yung mga ganong opportunities hindi mangyayari kung hindi mo ilalagay yung platform na sinasabi ko. Di ba? At
Sir,
kung
ito po pong mismong ano natin, ito mismong platform natin ng Zoom. Kung wala pong digital transformation, I don't think makakaroon po tayo ng webinar.
Well, itong webinar natin is a primitive way of interacting, di ba?
Sir, primitive pa to.
Primitive
Ano
pa
po
ito.
bang ano po bang mas advanced sa ginagamit natin ngayon?
Well, pwede ba isang button na lang ipipress ko, konektado na tayong lahat?
Oo nga, sir, no.
Alam mo ba yung technology para dyan na pinopromote din? Internet of Things. Di ba? The things are interconnected and you delegate to the things what it is that you have to do yourself. And of course, that is a very mysterious thing sa ating pa, artificial intelligence and Internet of Things. But it is happening. And especially those who work in the bigger challenges like climate change, diba? And environmental protection, yung mga ganun. Napakalawak yon. Kung walang interconnectivity, hindi maaayos yung ating mga ganung problema.
Tama po, sir. Sir, ito po, meron po atang, Sir Ted, meron po kayong question kanina? Narinig ko si Sir Ted
may-
kanina nagsalita
May
pero...
duktong
Sige po, sir.
Yeah. Nandito lang ako, nakikinig kanina pa, pero alam mo, dual task, may ginagawa rin ako. By the way, I'm looking forward ho yung interconnectability na sinasabi niyo, kasi I'm always working in the farm. Paano mo marireach out yung mga farmers? So, I look at the future na ito na siguro yung lalo na yung interconnectability, isang button na lang. Kasi sabi nyo, primitive pa itong ginagamit natin ngayon. Okay? Although mas primitive pa yung ginamit ko noon, namomonitor ko yung project namin through cellphone lang.
Oo nga.
Tapos nag-uusap lang kami ng partner farmers namin Okay? So, hindi ko nakikita yung bukid. Sana kung nakikita ko yung bukid, immediately I can
Ay,
give them some
mayroong
suggestion
technology
and prove it. Okay?
May technology para doon.
Opo. So,
Alam ko yung virtual
yun po
reality.
sana ang gusto naming malaman kung meron ng technology na ganon. So, I can go over the Philippines giving advice to the farmers. So, I don't need to go to the farm, which is very expensive, time-consuming, etc.
Correct.
Okay.
So you can visually see what's happening.
Opo.
Diba? At any time. And not expensive. Yun ang point eh. Kung mayroon kang platform para doon at maraming makakagamit noon, di ba? You are sharing very expensive infrastructure for one person or one entity. But if you are many of you, it becomes. And I think even the gadgets will become less expensive kasi more and more people will buy. People,
Right.
ngayon alam mo ba na ang telepono, yung ginagamit ng iba, pang text lang talaga. Di ba? Hindi lang magamit for. Kaya lang walang value sa kanila kasi so ano gagawin namin sa gadget na pareho ng ginagamit ko kung hindi magagamit for other purposes. So maganda ang prospect niyan at well, there are two proofs of that. It's already happening in many places in the world, no? And of course, it happens first in for example, European countries, no? European countries, hindi pareho ng US na isang country malaki, di ba? Pero ang European is made of several countries. Alam mo, the level of interconnectivity among them is really very high. And the level of development of ecosystems is also very high there. And sometimes we like to just look at what is happening today and what might happen in the near future. But sometimes it's better to look at ano bang pag-umpisa nila nung nag-umpisa sila. Dapat doon na rin tayo tingin. So maraming maraming challenges not only in the physical things that you have to do but also in the mental things. Kasi bigyan ko lang kayo ng example doon sa binanggit mo. Napag-usapan na namin to, hindi lang ako, no? I talked to one of the councilors of Bayawan, number one. I've talked to the person who is in charge of agriculture in Bayawan. Okay? They are talking about livelihood and job generation. So, focus on the farms kasi we are an agricultural town. Sa farm, marami ng mga anak wala doon sa farm. Lumayas na, di ba? Para makakita na mas magandang trabaho. Ano bang configuration ang pwedeng makabawas doon sa pag-migrate ng mga tao sa farm? Number one, dapat may opportunity of livelihood, no? So, ang isang batang marunong, kung tutira siya sa sarili niyang farm lang at doon lang magtrabaho, hindi niya makukuha yung gusto niya makukuha. Pero kung sabihin natin na marami sa farm niya at saka sa ibang neighboring farms, sa ibang countries na makakabenefit, sa ibang barangays na makakabenefit yun sa gawala, I think he can create a livelihood not only for himself, but for a group of people. Ang tawag namin dyan is handyman, no? Mayroon kang handyman na ang type niya is pang-farm, di ba? Tutulong siya sa livestock, sa mga greenhouses, yung mga ganon. Mayroon din sa fisheries. Fisheries, they require occasional help, di ba? To fix their, not only their nets, but even their boats, their motors, and so on. Mayroon kailangan, ibig sabihin mag-create ka ng livelihood na yung mga tao don't have to leave the place to be able to earn something. So, dalawa yung twin objectives, livelihood generation and job generation. And not only job generation per se, jobs that will be available and livelihoods that will be available within Bayawan. Para hindi alis yung ano.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Meron po akong question. Siguro, sir, last po to, bago po tayo mag-close. Sir, meron po akong nakita na isang doktor na nasa ibang bansa Pero sir, I think sir, siya po ay nasa Europe. Pero siya, through internet and through the use of robotics, nakapag-opera po siya ng isang tao na nasa Taiwan. So sir, pili nyo sir, Europe ka,
Mangyayari yun.
mag-opera. Sir, ang
Mangyayari
question
yun.
ko po, ayan po ba ay available din po kaya? Posible din po ma-approach sa mga tulad po ni Sir Ted, tulad ko po na agriculturist, na instead na pupunta po ako sa isang farm, meron lang virtual reality o kaya ano na kung saan, ayan, pwede ako mag-consult, sir.
Kaya yon, di ba? Ang mahal doon yung gadget na gagamitin, di ba? Kasi pag computer na may intelligence na ang gagamitin mo, di ba? Ngayon,
So sir,
pwede-
mga gaano katagal pa po kaya from our time period na
I'm
mangyari
talking-
yun, sir?
I think it's already here in some places. Okay, I'll give you an example, no? I went to a town in Negros Oriental, August of 2023, almost 2 years ago. Kinonect na niya yung lahat ng barangay niya by Starlink. Alam mo yan, di ba?
Yes, sir.
Starlink ba o Spacelink? Starlink, di ba?
Starlink po by Elon Musk.
So, nangako yung mayor na siyang gagastos ng pera natin para sa isang taon sa bawat barangay. Pero sabi niya sa mga barangay, sa susunod na taon, kayo na maghanap ng paraan na makakabayad kayo ng cost na yon. Diba? Ang unang cost ng gadget about 30,000 at saka ang monthly cost ay mga 3,000. Yun, diba? So, malaking pera yon. Kaya lang, ang nakita namin unang example is similar to what you're saying. There is a doctor in town and there is a patient in a remote barangay. Di ba? Pwede silang mag-connect para malaman.
Teleconsultation, sir.
Hindi, visual. Kasi pwede na yung visual. Di ba? So, yung example nung nagtanong kanina, virtual reality yun. Para niya makita yung nangyayari sa farm niya real time, di ba? Hindi siya kailangan nandun. Anong kailangan mo lang doon? Yung camera, di ba? At saka yung connection. Di ba?
Yes, sir.
Of course, may mga processing dyan na pwede mo ring mabili kasama na AI at Internet of Things dyan. Pero all of that can only be made possible if the costs are being shared. Because our people are not yet at the level that they can afford these kinds of technologies.
Yes, sir. At the same time, isa po tayo sa buong mundo sa may pinakamahal na internet price.
Tama yun. Tama yun.
Now, let's punta po tayo sa question po ni Sir Cesar. Yes, Sir Cesar.
Academician Bill, just a follow-up, ano?
Oh.
Sa pinag-usapan mo, ano ang position ng DICT dito?
Ako natutuwa na nagkaroon na ng region na Negros Island region, di ba? Region 18 ang number yata na gagamitin doon. Alam mo, ang dalawa yung regional centers, Bacolod and Dumaguete.
Okay.
Nalaman ko na DICT mayroon ng office sa Dumaguete ngayon. Di ba? Dati, nagtatanong sila sa akin kasi taga roon ako. Nagdinghid ako ng DICT nung araw panahon ni Cory. So, may connection pa rin ako doon. Ngayon, malapit na sila doon. So, ang point kasi ito yung the connection between bureaucracy and politics, no? Ang politicians gusto nila makita ng results within their term, di ba? Ang bureaucracy, napipressure na hindi nila maisip yung pang long term. Di ba? So, ang iniisip dapat natin yung pang long term at talaga kung hindi politician nagdedikta noon yung mga user. Di ba? So, yun yung nakikita ko sa mga gagawin natin. Ang impact ng DICT, magbabago rin sila. Di ba? In fact, mabanggit ko pala yung ginagawa namin sa Bayawan. No? Sabi ko, sa LGU ito kausap na namin from top to bottom sa Bayawan. Mayor at saka councilor. Sabi ko, ang aming purpose sa DNI ay hindi tutulong sa City Hall. Hindi. Kayo ang ayos. Kung may kailangan kayong consultant, siguro i-refer ko namin kayo sa consultant at tumulong kayo. Ang kailangan nating pag-usapan, sabi ko sa kanila, is paano nyo ba mababago yung public services ng buong bayawan? Di ba? Kasi public services, hindi lang kayo yon. At saka hindi ang tao pupunta sa city para makuha yung service na yon. Dapat ang magkagawa ng services, yung mga tao rin, di ba? Para mabawasan yung 92% na ini-employan nyo. Ilagay natin yung pera ng taong bayan doon sa ano. So ang isang kausapan yung head ng agriculture, alam mo ba ang budget ng agriculture, 10% of the era of bayawan, which is not that small, is devoted to agriculture. So that person who heads it is convinced now we have to change by changing the configuration of how to use that money. Diba? Hindi lang yung dole out, diba? Tingi-tingi dole out, tulong. Dapat tulong na, diba, long-term, steady, yung tinatawag na sustainable, which is the theme of our
Just to
So yun,
summarize,
gagawin na namin yun.
but just to summarize, for national DICT, parang the impression I get is that kulang sila sa perspective. It's bureaucracy versus politics. So, sayang.
Well, yun na nga, they are tied up to getting results to be seen right away. Di ba? Ganon eh. Nagtrabaho sa gobyerno, matagal. DAP ako. Tagal ako sa DAP. Tsaka head ako ng NCC, panahon ni Cory.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, magbati na ako quickly kay Akad Torres.
Sige
As
po,
an
sir.
agronomist, agriculturist po, ako ay nakahandang tumulong dyan sa inyo sa Negros pagdating sa agricultural production. Okay, paano ma-increase ang yield ng tubo, ng rice, vegetables, and fruits.
Tama yun. Tama yun. At saka hindi
Sige,
lang,
sir. Ako naman po
hindi
sa
lang
soils.
production, di ba?
Yeah.
Reducing the waste, di ba? Reducing
Yes,
the cost.
Opo.
Kasi you make money by reducing the cost. At sometimes, because of the huge waste, anyway, economic problems are challenging, especially if many people are involved.
Opo. So sir, bago ko po hilingin ang parting words po ni Ma'am Luli, tanungin ko po kayo, Academician Torres, in a prophetic way. Saan niyo po nakikita ang internet service and connection, digital transformation ng bansa natin mga 10 to 20 years from now? Maaabot po ba natin yung 120,000 gigabyte na speed per second ng Japan?
Palagay ko ngayon palang maabot na natin yan eh.
Sir, kaya natin, so
Para lang
120,000,
Para
25,000?
maabot mo yon, trabahuin mo yung demand side. Di ba? Kasi hindi lalaki yung bandwidth mo kung hindi ginagamit, especially for wealth generation. Di ba? Kung puro consumer-oriented use, di ba? Mahal. Saka, of course, mahal, konti lang bibili nun. Ito, palawakin mo yung paggamit at palakihin mo yung value ng paggamit. Di ba? Para ma-afford ng mga mas maraming Pilipino. Di ba? At saka sa tingin ko, yung mga big businesses, they know how to do that. San Miguel, mga ganon. They know how to do that. But remember, they also have to deal with the small enterprises. Sila yung suppliers. Di ba? Sila yung dapat tulungan din nila, and maybe together we can help the smaller guys. Kasi remember, when the poor people become richer, they will buy more. Di ba?
Yes, sir. So,
So,
Ma'am Luli, pero po kayong gustong sabihin?
Magpapasalamat lang ako ng maraming salamat dito sa pagpapa-unlock mo sa amin. Natatandaan ko yung sinabi ng kapatid kong bunso na nag-aral yun sa Ateneo naging teacher daw kayo.
sino ba?
At meron daw pare na nagtuturo rin ng mathematics
Hmm.
na ang hirap daw intindihin ng ng math noon. Pero nung tinuruan niyo sila kung paano yung tungkol sa math, mas naintindihan daw niya lahat ng sinabi niyo. Kaya
Talaga.
mahusay si pagtuturo. Ah, dapat siguro kasi this will be used by all our departments itong sa digital, magkaroon talaga ng digital transformation na bigyan ng malaking budget ng government
Yeah. Well,
ito. At saka yung sa education, sa health,
tama,
yung
tama.
in building up the demand side.
Yeah. The demand side is where they will invest, no? Because the suppliers, kaya lang, ano ba, lulin lang tawag ko para isa.
Oh,
Kaya lang, yun nga, sometimes, remember the story about laptops, di ba? Ang mahal ng value ng isang laptop
oo.
kaysa regular value. At saka yung mga project like internet for the public, dapat libre, ganun. May mga policies kasi na hindi tugma sa panahon natin ngayon. No? Hindi kailangan talaga ng dole out ang mga Pilipino. Eh. Ang kailangan nila opportunity so that they can do things on their own. So, palagay ko ang DICT, matututo rin yan pag nakikita nga nila na may pagbabago doon sa baba. Sa the LGUs sa akin lang, no? Ang LGU, kung mayroon na silang makikita sa LGU, mga LGU na nagbabago naman yung paggamit ng IT sa lower level, no? Palagi ko the policy and the allocations will also change.
Sana.
Yung skills development, yung value ba nung while you are studying, especially if you're from the rural areas, pwede ka bang mag-aral din habang kahit na may trabaho pa sa araw, meron kang
Oo nga.
diba? Yung mga ganun eh. Wala yun. So, magkakaroon nun. Sa Negros, bago ako mag-retire siguro, 3 years from now, baka makita ko na yung Negros.
Hindi ba almost 90 ka na ngayon?
92 ako, ano ka?
92.
Mag
Pero
90,
mo,
93 na ako
Ang
sa
lakas-
November.
ang lakas-lakas niyo pa.
Opo nga, sir. Hindi po mukhang 93, sir. Hindi po mukhang 92, sir. Sir, ano pong
Yeah.
secret po dyan? Green diet po ba tayo?
Exercise your body and exercise your mind. How do you exercise your mind? Not by memorizing, but by facing challenges. Di ba?
Oo nga.
Yes, sir. Noted po yan. Noted.
Talaga, curiosity. Mula pa kabata pa ako. Curious na talaga ako.
Tama po, sir. Tama po.
Galing.
Saka,
Yes po, ma'am.
Luli, in answer to the observation of your son, I
Brother.
really encourage my students in math not to memorize, but to derive.
Oo.
Di ba? Di ba?
Mas naintindihan daw niya talaga yung math nung kayo nagturo.
Ay,
Tama po, sir.
sana
Kasi
appreciate.
ang dami pong mga professor na ipapamemorize sa inyo ang mga formula na hindi niyo man talaga matatandaan.
Maganda.
Si Father,
talaga?
si Father
Parang
Macmanus
putting
yun.
together using your mind. At
Ano
saka,
yan?
Tuli
Di ba,
yung sa
tayong
Ateneo
dalawa,
Professor
tayong
si
dalawa ay good
Father
example.
Macmanus.
Ano po, Sir Cesar?
Yung sinasabi ni Doc Luli na hindi maintindihan ng mga estudyante, si Father Macmanus ata yun eh.
Siguro.
Kilala ko yun.
Oh.
Yun daw po si Father Macmanus daw po na Ateneo, yung hindi naiintindihan ng mga estudyante.
Baka lang.
Alam mo
Baka na
kung
po,
bakit,
sir.
alam mo kung bakit ako nagturo sa Ateneo, Luli? Pinirate ako ng isang Jesuit para umpisahan yung course na Management Engineering.
Time Bugler ba yun?
1962 yun.
1962.
Kasi nasama po ako. Alam niya, engineer ako, pero ang tinuturo ko, yung theoretical at saka mathematical.
Mhm.
Thank
So,
you.
So yun. At saka,
Okay po.
I'm glad to hear something like that from you. I hear a few things like that. Like
Diba?
you can, for example, repeat that Manny Pangilinan was my student,
Ah,
but he remembers me as well.
oo.
He was economics major. Ako tinuro ko sa kanya math. Di ba? Marami akong estudyante na nasa taas na ngayon. Pero hindi ko sasabi ako may dahilan noon, di ba? Nakatambag lang. Na-challenge sila.
Nako sir, ang laki po ng inyo naiambag sa ating industriya ng internet connection. So masabi ko lang po sir na sana po matupad po yung inyong pangarap na ang Pilipinas, hindi lang Negros, ay maging part po ng digital transformation. Kasi ang internet po, sa ayaw at sa gusto po namin ay parte po ng aming buhay, I think hanggang sa akin, mismong henerasyon, hanggang sa akin pong pagtanda. So sana po sir, matupad po yung ating mga pangarap at nakikita ko po sir na ang internet connection, ang magandang connection, digital transformation ay isang tool para masagot po ang mga suliranin na gusto namin doon dito sa Future Earth Philippines, which is SDG. So sir, alam ko sir, malaking gagampanan ng internet connection and digital transformation sa poverty, food security, livelihood.
Yeah, in
Isa
fact,
sa lahat po yun.
pag inisip mo lahat ng goals yata ng SDG,
Lahat.
diba? Masusuportahan ng kung ano yung nakaka-enable sa kanila na
Tama
magawa.
sir, meron nga po ako nakikita dito sir, mga kamatis, ini-spray yan digitally by computer and may timing. So hindi na kailangan tao sir, yung mismong computer, internet na ang nagdidesisyon ng pesticide, ng fertilizer. So I think sir that is the way to go when it comes to food security. It will just be a matter of decades, I can say sir.
Yeah, to a certain extent it helps, but let's not forget the human being has to come in, di ba?
That's right sir. That's right sir. Okay po. So, dyan po natin
Salamat din.
tinatapos ang programa ngayong hapon and salamat po sa pagsama po sa amin today. At muli po tayo magkita next week, same place, same time, same channel. And Academician Torres, maraming salamat po sa inyong oras at sa inyong napakamakabuhay na pag-share ng inyong knowledge sa hapon na ito.
Well, salamat
So-
naman. Ako ay nagpapasalamat lalo kay Luli na naimbita ako sa FEP. Diba?
Sir,
Maraming
next time
salamat
po,
sa inyo.
hopefully,
Maraming
Academician
salamat.
Torres, hopefully this is not the last. So sana po, pag meron pa po kayong mga pwedeng i-share sa amin na pwede naming itawid sa SDG, sana po, mapaulakan niyo po kami.
Okay.
Again po, maraming salamat and yes sir.
Sige, salamat din sa inyo, lalo na sa iyo, na nagsusuporta sa mga ganitong
Mhm.
mga pamamaraan para umunlad ang ating bayan.
Yes sir. At kasama po kayo doon, kasama po tayong lahat at tayo pong lahat ang nakikinig. Let's enjoy the rest of the weekend and see you again next time. Bye for now.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Off na tayo.
Ayan. Maraming salamat, Mark.